Hey guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning March 27th, 2017. For this week, we're going to be using the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue and pulling a card from the Healing Crystal Oracle by Rochelle Sharman. And again, if you would like to get a reading from me, a personal reading, you can go to my website at angelsouls444.com. If you just go to the services tab, you'll see everything that you can choose from and the instructions for that to really secure your place in line. And then after you purchase your reading, you should be taken back to a submission form. That's actually the thing that holds your place. Now, if you get through the whole thing and you didn't see, where to fill out a submission form, there's another tab on my website that just says thank you. That's where the submission form is. So you can just go in there and plug in your info and get that sent off to me. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, I'll leave all that information down below. And what else do we have? Oh, courses on Gumroad. I'm no longer doing the extra readings, but there are still courses, freeing up some time to try to get other things up there for you and, just try to serve you and serve God, actually getting messages out there in a different way. So trying to make everybody happy here. Speaking of which, we will do a quick, I promise it'll be quick, recap of last week so you know kind of what happened. But as you can see here, I have an empty bookshelf behind me. I'm in the process of moving. I'm in a temporary chair and it might creak and crunch. Let's see. Yeah, it makes noise. So if any of that should occur, that's the squeaky chair here. All right. So first and foremost, I don't even know where to begin with sending my love out to people. So many events have been happening between, man-made violence and nature-made weather going on all over the place. Guys, I love you all. Be well, be safe. And you have my love and support. So let's all pray for everybody around the world for whatever they're going through right now. Okay. Now, as far as last week, as you can imagine, there was not as much controversy as I thought there would be. 98% of people were right on board, and thank you so much for getting it. You guys got it. And I went into, Social Blade. I keep track of my channel on there, and I was really expecting to see a lot of, a big, loss of subscribers. I didn't check it within the past couple of days, but last time I checked, I lost a whopping 14 subscribers. So I still have nearly, I think I have 37,500-ish subscribers who still want to stay and hear the message. So really, it was a small percentage of people who either, were threatened by the message. I heard a lot of different things from, you had no tact in how you were saying this. I think I practiced quite a lot of restraint. But even so, the person who said that was coming from a place of ego because he had expectations on how I should present. That's not okay. And this is going to go into part of the message too. Don't allow anybody to guilt you into thinking or speaking or acting in a way that is not natural for you. Okay? And it's a control mechanism, guys. That's what we were talking about last week, where people will try to make you feel bad and just say, oh, you shouldn't have said it that way. You shouldn't have acted that way. One woman actually projected onto me and said that I was expressing anger. I'm like, girl, take this behavior that you're exhibiting right now and go into New York City for a minute. That's anger. Okay? What we're doing here, maybe in moments, we're, frustration at best. But to jump to conclusions about what, I was feeling in the moment, these are other tactics that people use to control others. And she was holding me accountable for how she felt, and we expected that, didn't we? So these are all things for us all for those of you who are left, again, thank you. You guys are awesome. So, take this example here that happened with last week's reading, with people just wanting to silence me. And again, it was almost, I would dare call it bullying, some of the comments. They were downright bullying. Now I'm an adult, so, adults can be bullied as well, but please, again, this isn't my first rodeo, right? So, I know how to handle it. I know it doesn't get to me, guys, so you don't need to say that. But I just found it very, very interesting, and it really was thought-provoking, because I'm like, how many other areas of our lives do we allow people to pressure us to be what their idea of us is. Do you understand? Where we're giving into what they feel comfortable with instead of being our authentic selves, which is what is always the message, right? We're always supposed to be going down that road and honoring self. Now, of course, we don't want to go through life hurting one another. We don't want to do that. But I think it was pretty clear for anybody paying attention that my intention was never to hurt anybody. For anybody who's hurting, I hurt 10 times as much just for that person. You know, I am an empath. I pick up people's feelings and such, and that's how I'm really, really good at picking up on what people mean. I had somebody also get super offended and super angry last week. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, and they were just asking, you know, hey, are you okay? You don't have the reading up yet. And my response was, well, actually, they don't have to be up until Sunday. I'm sorry, I didn't put more sunshine and rainbows around it. I didn't think I had to. And the woman got very defensive and said, oh my God, all I was doing was asking how she was. No. And you guys pay attention to this, okay? This isn't about the actual surface level thing that I'm talking about. It goes way deeper. Look at where this happens in your life. Are you okay? Not that this woman was saying this. This is a separate example. But you've had somebody like go, are you okay? There's always like some subtext there. Like, you look like crap. Are you okay? You know, or you're really ticking me off right now. Are you okay? You know, there's an inauthenticity there. I'm giving silly examples. But going back to the original example where this person was like, suddenly twisted it around and said, oh, I was just concerned about how you were. If that were the truth, then you wouldn't have even mentioned the video and where it was. You just asked me, how are you, Michelle? Right? So take this, okay? This isn't Michelle just being a talking head here. We're talking about this for good reason. Take this and look at your own lives. Start getting better at tuning into people's intentions. It does get tricky because, of course, we don't want to jump to conclusions. And I try not to as well. But I'm sorry, but when I'm getting waylaid with a feeling about something, I don't ignore that, okay? So that is step one for this week, a carryover from last week. To carry on with that, guys, and really look at what's truly happening. Not what people are saying, oh, no, I didn't mean it that way, and yet you know they did, right? People will, it's called backpedaling, right? When you start calling them out for what you feel that they might be, where they're going with this, right? Or if you feel like, you know, let's say you're feeling like you're being manipulated by someone in your life and you try to set a boundary. And, you know, again, this is a narcissistic quality. We've talked about this before. There are covert narcissists and there are overt narcissists. Now, the covert ones, they're, in my opinion, the worst ones, right? Because they're good. You don't see them coming. They get in under your skin and then they're functioning and you don't even know what's going on. So again, you know, if somebody turns it around and says, oh my gosh, you're such a bad person because this, and this, and they try to make you feel guilty or they try to silence you, remember your healthy boundaries. There's absolutely nothing wrong with standing your ground and being you. All right? So make sure you're doing that. So without further ado, let's get on to the cards. And I'm just going to get set here. Oh. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. I dropped a couple of cards here. And there's my crunchy chair, I told you. All right. That's interesting that these two would fly out because we have Father Healing, which is all about people being authoritative. Do you know what I mean? Like they're pushy or bossy, or we'll get to it. And then we have Accept Heaven's Help. Okay. So, and that feels definitely like help coming in a way that you hadn't anticipated. All right. Yeah, put an end to the nonsense, guys. Because this is a society that is so pumped up with, oh my gosh, can you believe she said that to me? Oh my gosh, can you believe? They never acknowledge what they're doing, right? I know a lot of you are going to be sitting there going, oh my gosh, write it down if you have to. If you're like, I know exactly who you're talking about, you know, as it pertains to my life. I have this teacher who does that, or I have a parent who does that, or a friend who does that, you know, so on and so forth. All right, let's get two more cards. Synchronicity. Yeah, so we're opening up some magic this week. All right, it's good. But the actual result might come a little bit later. Sorry, I got you all revved up and then we're just like, wait a second. All right, so going back to this first card, we have Father Healing. It says your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. Now, this could literally mean a father-related issue. You know what I mean? Something that you picked up from Father, or the divine masculine aspect within you. Yeah, authority figures. But thank you. So what I was just feeling was this is that part of us that most of us have to tap into. This is what I tapped into my divine masculine last week. I'd like to think perfectly entwined with my divine feminine, the way I was presenting. Okay? I was standing my ground. And people don't like that, especially out of angel mediums. You're supposed to be light and fluffy. You're supposed to make me feel good. I've heard that before. You know, I come here to feel better about myself. So I don't want to listen to you talk about real things. They want you to be dishonest for their comfort level. Okay? Now, where do you need to tap into this divine masculine aspect? Again, this doesn't mean going out and being mean or, like pushing other people around, or, as I've seen before, very, very misplaced. I'm thinking of an example of somebody I used to know. And oddly, she came running to me to brag to me that she had told somebody off. I'm like, okay, I know I put my foot down when I have to, but I don't really like make a habit of going around yelling at people. I really don't. It's not comfortable. But, she was somebody who, like, her energies were unbalanced. I guess that's safe to say. You don't know her, so... Anyway, she went off and she wanted to do something, and this place was closed, and she bragged about how she stormed in there anyway and demanded that those people go give her what she wanted. And she was like, Michelle, you've been so proud of me. I wasn't taking any nonsense off this guy. And I didn't know what to say. I mean, just to finish out that example, I didn't know what to say because I was like, dang, you walked into a place that was closed and demanded that they open back up for you? What? I wouldn't do that. What are you talking about? But anyway, that was her, I think, trying to get into her divine masculine and to stand up for herself. Okay, as she saw it, standing up for herself. So be careful with that. Again, don't overcorrect, right? And go out there and get crazy with everybody. But again, I'm only reading that card in the context of this overall message. If you as an individual, you're picking up a message like, okay, you know what? I've been feeling insecure as a father. I need to trust myself and my abilities, or to be more aware as a father, or do you need to forgive your own father? Whatever the case may be. Always with these cards, if something personal pops out for you, take it. I mean, that's how these, general readings can be very personal. It could be that, somebody says, oh my gosh, that sunset in the background really means something to me. X, Y, and Z just happened. Or the water means something to me, or Neptune, right? Because isn't that Neptune? Means something to me, so on and so forth. Always run with that. Okay. So then we have, let me try that again. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. Again, this is that controlling aspect that we have as humans, right? When we're too rigid about how things should be, how it should look, how people should behave. I'd like to think that the angels were really trying to work through me to get some messages out to people last week. And there were some people who wouldn't accept that help. They want to hear it. I'm uncomfortable. I come here to be soothed and coddled, and you failed, Michelle, or whatever the case may be, right? But again, that's a fresh example. That's why it's like the one that I can think of right now. But, again, where are you doing that? Where you're just not letting go of something that you think should be, right? Let's say, for example, in love, okay? Let's say you're really hung up on an ex, and that's okay. Our hearts need to heal, and you might still feel like you're, completing a cycle with somebody. It's all good. You don't have to feel guilty about that at all. But let's say you're really just focused and saying, I have to be with that person. I have to be with that person. I have to. And there are all these other beautiful love partners that you're also supposed to be having, maybe, hopefully not all at the same time, because that would be a little overwhelming. But, these other people that you're supposed to interact with, and you're missing it. You're missing all these other beautiful love potentials. right? Because you're looking this way. Or again, people get very lost and feel very stuck in life because they're like, I'm just not moving ahead at work. I'm just not getting the promotions. I'm just not being taken seriously. When in all actuality, if they were to let that, if it's not working, let it go, right? We said that last week. If you were just to let go of what you think should be, you can see what all the possibilities actually are. Okay? And this is where synchronicity comes in. All right, so ask for the signs and, without trying too hard, but you'll know, it'll light you up inside when there's a sign. So synchronicity, your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. Again, I'm sure you have all been in the flow at some point in your life, right? And it's like when one nice thing starts to happen, another and another and another. It could work the other way too, if you get into a negative space. Now, this isn't about false positivity or kidding yourself or, getting drunk off the spiritual practices, and a lot of people are doing that. They're like... What a weird way to put that. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth like that. But like drunk spiritual people, like drunk on their spirituality. Again, you see it all the time. They're very ungrounded. These are the people who are constantly, trying to say and do inspirational things, which, again, it comes down to intention. If you really feel it and you want to go with it, rock it out. If you are doing it just to kid yourself, I see you, okay? Like most people see you. You can sniff those people out a mile away, right? So anyway, we're looking at the authentic synchronicity, the universal synchronicity, those kinds of signs that are coming from God and the work that is coming through the angels to help you guys, all right? Sometimes it comes and it is something that would be beyond your wildest dreams. I think I've used this example before. Years ago, actually it was back in 2012, I was getting all these synchronicities to go to Hawaii. I was not a Hawaii kind of girl. Like, I'm Whitey McWhitey over here, almost see-through. I'm not kidding. I just told my friend, I'm like, you can see my circulatory system under my skin. I wish that was a joke. It's not. Okay? It's not. You can see my heart thumping through my arms and stuff. Anyway, so I burn really easily. There's a lot of sun out there in Hawaii, bathing suits and water, like I swim like a fool. Like, I don't even know what that looks like. But anyway, Hawaii wouldn't have been a thing for me. But there were all these synchronicities, all the signs. I mean, I was so filled up and I just knew. I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm going to Hawaii, but okay. And the money just kind of, again, that's an expensive trip. So the money just kind of ended up happening and working out. Anyway, ended up going to Maui and I definitely had an awakening there. Nothing overtly spiritual happened necessarily. And as a matter of fact, all the spiritual stuff I tried to do, like yoga and meditation and all that, again, I think maybe I told you this and forgive me if I did, but like I was trying to do yoga on the beach and there were these bees everywhere, just making it impossible to even do a downward dog. I mean, I just couldn't even do it. There were just bees everywhere. I tried to meditate and I was the only person who showed up and there were all these distractions in the meditation. The only time things were synchronistic and in the flow was when I let go and just had fun. And it was through the experiences of fun and being open to meeting whoever I met I went by myself, and it was important that I went by myself. And trust me, there were lots of people going, I'll go with you. I'm like, no, as much as I would like to have someone with me, this has to be done for me. But anyway, I finally, when I gave over, okay, and I was like, okay, God, source, creator, universe, I call that bigger source God. Show me, what the heck am I supposed to be doing? And it was through those fun activities, letting go, being free, being relaxed, I was able to get in touch with my own soul. Okay? So without having to sit and force a meditation, it just happened naturally by relaxing. So just think about that for yourself. That's what we're talking about with the synchronicity, going with the flow, allowing things to happen, even if it goes against everything that you think about yourself, about your life. Oh, I'm so happy for you guys, because if you just open up to the possibilities, there are beautiful things waiting for you. Okay, so now the last card we have before we get on to the crystal card is wait. So here's the thing. I think, not being impulsive, not pushing ahead. You might see some synchronistic things, but let's say it's, again, going back to that Hawaii example, I saw the synchronicities, but I didn't actually end up going to Hawaii until a couple months later. Do you understand? So you might be getting signs and symbols of things to come, and you'll be learning about your soul and how to kind of crack that open to free yourself, over the coming weeks. Okay? So the card is wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. So watch what kind of happens for you, but don't jump on it yet. Okay? Again, you got to feel it out. Let it play out. There's more details to come over the coming weeks. Okay, so let's get to the crystal card here. Okay, one more shuffle. There we go. And our card is calcite, relaxation. I feel like and the winner is calcite. But that's funny because I was just talking about how in Hawaii, when I found myself, and I'd never taken a trip like that by myself either. So that was a learning experience as well and a growth moment. But it was the moment I relaxed, that's when I was in the flow. And I think that's a big message for you guys as well. Relax on one another too. Stop trying to boss everybody around. Stop trying to, not that you guys are doing it. Most of you who are still here, you're not doing it. So, but in case you know somebody who needs that message, there you go. Stop bossing me around. I don't have to do it the way you say I should do it. Come on. But again, relax on yourself. Don't push so hard on your spirituality. The person who goes and does all of these spiritual practices, it can have the same level of growth as someone who, finds peace at home, just connecting with God in that way. So whatever it is for you, you'll know by your own heart. You'll know when your heart leaps that it's a good thing, okay? You'll know that when you feel uplifted, that's the right path for you, all right? So there's not one pre-prescribed way to God, okay? Stop being so hard on yourselves, and just, again, be in a place of allowing. I think that's kind of the bottom line here. All right, so there it is, guys. I hope that made sense. I hope you're all right. Again, with all the stuff going on around the world, I love you so much. And no matter what's up, try to have a good week. All right, take care.